Movies and Martinis celebrates women and diversity in the entertainment world
by ranking trending movies, shows, and books
with two completely different perspectives and ranked by delicious martinis.
Listen to find out how many martinis we felt it was worth.
And learn about the women who have written, performed, and/or directed in everything we have rated.
A new episode is available every Thursday on your favorite podcast platform and YouTube. What's up, everyone? Welcome to our podcast. I'm Priya.
And I'm Mercy. Hey, Priya, how are you?
Good. Cheers.
Wait, let me take that back. Wait, rewind. How you doing?
How you doing? Did you catch the solar eclipse? I have my glasses right here.
I didn't. Tell me, how was it? I saw it a year and a half ago. I was in Tennessee, and I got to see the whole thing. It was really beautiful.
Oh, wait, you guys, in Florida, you guys don't have.
I'm in Naples, so I guess some people got it, but
it was great. It was
kind of cloudy, too.
Yeah. So we got 90% in New York City. So it was good.
Beautiful.
It was good.
I got to see it on the Today Show.
Yeah. So. Oh, that sucks that you didn't get to see the whole thing.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. A year and a half ago. So.
And we had an earthquake here in New York too.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, yes, yeah. I saw that. That was crazy.
So all the conspiracy theorists were like, "Oh, the earthquake was a 4.8, and the eclipse is on April 8th. There has to be something happening."
Yeah. I love how NASA actually did so much research.
Yeah.
With it, like they were ready for this eclipse. More than ever before, to research so many different things, like the right before, during, and after effects. Mm-hmm. And they were able to see so much. So I can't wait for all that data to come back.
Yeah, there's so I think there was something happening with the sun. They were doing something with the sun. I don't know, guys. I saw something.
I heard about it. Yeah,
there was some testing happening. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So today we are covering Roadhouse, available on Prime, and I know Mercy has a lot to say.
No, I don't have that much to say about it, but this is the remake. I remember I watched the original, which I liked. I really enjoyed it. I really liked the original with Patrick Swayze.
Yes.
And so this one my husband had watched, and he asked me, he goes, "Hey, you want to watch it?" And I knew I had good reviews on Prime. And I was like, really? I'm just not interested. So he watched it and he told me it's really good. I'm like, all right, well, good for you. I'm done. I don't want to watch it. But then you asked me to watch it. So I watched it for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for taking one
welcome.
For the team.
Tell us what it's all about before.
Sure. So Roadhouse, starring Jake Gyllenhaal on Prime, Amazon Prime, is about a character named Dalton. He is a former UFC fighter. And he's a study in contradictions. So he can effectively beat the crap out of anyone, but then he'll take you to the hospital afterwards. And he outwardly presents a steely, cool demeanor, but there's a fuse inside, and you don't want to be the one lighting that fuse. And he's hired by a woman named Frankie to be the bouncer. Wait. Who edited this podcast episode? It's getting so good. So good that I need to give a shout out to our sponsor, Blue Box Media, an NYC-based video production firm. Blue Box Media makes our movies and martinis dreams come true every Thursday by editing every episode. Check them out at blueboxllc.com. And okay, let's get back to those martinis. At her bar in the Florida Keys. Yay, Florida! and all this drama ensues. And it's just a lot of fun. I thought it was a lot of fun. So go ahead. Let's get Mercy's take.
It wasn't that it wasn't fun. I mean, I think that the movie captures you and you're like on edge with it, which is a good thing, right? It's not dragging. You're like, you're really into it. Right off the bat, the movie starts with a fight, right? There's a fight, a professional fight. And throughout the whole movie, I think the plot was good. You know, I get the whole corrupt cop, the money and the drugs and the pretty girl, and him finding himself and fighting his own demons and all that kind of stuff. and being the good guy, because the movie kind of ends with, you may not be the hero, but you're also not the enemy.
Yeah.
And he does change lives when he's there, because he does clean up everything. He puts everybody in their place. Kills a couple, but so the plot is good.
Yeah.
I can't say that it's bad. I love the cast and I love the acting. What I didn't personally love, which a lot of people did, was the violence. There was a lot of unnecessary violence, but that's what the movie's all about. So for that reason, I didn't want to watch it. And then after watching it, I felt the same way. This is why I didn't want to watch it. There's just a lot of blood and gushing and fight, and it was unnecessary to me. I can't imagine real life like that. But yeah. Then again, I'll watch serial killer movies and be all like into it. I like to know who did it as opposed to fighting.
How it happened.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how I felt about it. Not my cup of tea, but I respect that others, enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So don't go based on me unless you just don't like fights.
Well,
if you don't like violence, then.
Yeah, some of our listeners and viewers might think like you. So, I mean, that's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay. Everybody has their own different. That's the whole point of our show, to share our opinions, and the people could decide whether or not they want to see it, right?
Then my opinion is pass on it if you don't like violence. There was a lot of unnecessary violence.
Well, I think the whole thing was just based on violence. Like, because he's a bouncer and Frankie hires him to protect her bar because these mob guys that live in this town in the Florida Keys, because it's just a small town. Everybody knows each other.
Glass Key, they call it, right?
Yeah, Glass Key. And they've just been terrorizing the bar and coming by because they want to. So the mob guys plan on building this huge casino, I think it is, or some resort or something. It's a huge resort, and the Roadhouse, the bar, is in the way. So they want to flatten the Roadhouse. So they've been terrorizing the bar owner, Frankie, and Frankie hires Dalton
it's the bouncer to balance it out,
or to
clean it up,
to protect their assets, whatever. Because they're bar fights every night, and it's not only the mob guys that come in and fight. I mean, it's just like random
there's
people
like
fighting.
No law and order there.
Basically,
it's just crazy,
which is like wild. It's like wild west.
You have the band playing behind a cage, which is
funny?
like, are you kidding me?
Like the last fight was really bad, and they're just still there like
they're used to it. Yeah, you're playing do or die.
Even when the guy's like face is mushed through the fence, like they're still like
But I have to tell you, some of those sceneries on the ocean are beautiful.
Yeah.
Even when they're fighting and blowing up boats and stuff, it's so beautiful backdrop.
Yeah, it did made me miss Florida and the Keys and driving down there with my kids. And then he has the character that says to him that he's not bad and he's not good. At the end is a young girl, and they own a store a bookstore right near the bus stop. So in the beginning of the movie, he gets off the bus stop. She's the first person he meets, and he just adores her and really
her father
and respects them and wants them to be safe. And then what happens is, because of him, these mobsters come and burn down the shop because they're trying to warn him, like, you better go away so we could demolish this bar. And he gets so
little
upset.
Girl is Charlie.
Charlie.
Name is Charlie.
And that's what like ignites the fuse in him, and he goes berserk in the end. He's like, I'm not taking any more of this shit. I'm gonna kill somebody.
Right. And part of that backstory is that Charlie's mom had just died, and dad was trying to make ends meet, and they kept the bookstore. So she's at the bookstore, and you can see as a little girl, she kind of has a bat, like a metallic bat, that she has to protect her property because dad has to have another job to support the bookstore, which was mom's dream.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of history there that kind of pulls at his heartstrings.
On a side note, I've been realizing a lot of movies that we look at have some type of journalist, book, writer, vibe to it. Like, now that we're doing more book reviews and like Books and Martinis, I kind of feel like it's just there. It's there.
I think a lot of times it has to do with the writer of the story itself, because it's all interconnected some way, somehow. Movies and shows and books are all part of that same world. So I think that's where we keep finding those connections.
And I also feel like it's a balance for the viewers. So you have the violence, you have the people who really love the masculine stuff. And then you want the other people to watch it too that love all the soft stuff, like the books and the writing. So I can see where the balance is right there. But I enjoyed this movie. I would give it maybe 4 stars. I really no 4 martinis. I'm sorry, 4 guys. Martinis. 4 martinis. I enjoyed it. Jake Gyllenhaal was ripped for this. So if you want some eye candy, you will not be disappointed.
I'm 100% with you there.
And I recommend it. So I know Mercy said pass, but I would recommend it.
Right. So I think that, I think the movie was engaging. It was good. It had a good plot. It had a great cast. I loved the views. So I don't want to, I would give it a 4 with you, except the violence turned me off.
Okay.
So only because of the violence, which is kind of ironic because that's what it's about. Right. I would give it a 3, but that's really personal. I just don't like the violence. So for that reason, I'd give it a 3.
Okay.
But for everything else, between a 4, 4.5, because everything else was great.
So you're giving it a 3, a 4, and a 4.5?
Yeah, I'll give it whatever they want to watch, whatever they want for this one. I think I'm going to unrate this one. I'm going to take a pass on it. I'm going to take a pass. And I'll tell you what. I know it's our first pass. Yes. I'm going to take a pass because I think it's unfair to judge it on what it was meant to be. Meant to be he's a bouncer.
Yeah.
It would be like watching a boxing movie and take credit away from it because there was boxing in it. Right? So for that reason, I'm not going to rate it, but I did watch it, so I shared it with you. So I think we're going to base it on what you're rating it.
Oh, snap. Okay. But your opinion's still valid. I mean, there are a lot of people who don't like the things that you like.
Right. So if you don't like violence, pass on it. But if you don't mind it, then go with a 4 for martinis.
Okay.
Fair
so
enough?
That's it. Fair enough. Okay, guys. Well, make sure you check it out on Prime. I gave it a 4. Mercy gave it a question mark.
I'm leaving it unrated. I leave it to your discretion.
Our first. Thank you for watching. Like, share, follow, subscribe, all that great stuff. And we'll see you in the next episode.
Absolutely. See you later, guys. Bye.